The Soulsborne genre, which has rose to popularity in the past decade or so, gets its name from two of From Software's iconic franchises, Dark Souls and Bloodborne. But the funny thing is, Bloodborne isn't even really a franchise. It's only ever gotten one game. No remaster, no remake, no sequel, but it's still influential enough to literally be genre-defining. And here we are now, the 10th anniversary of Bloodborne, a challenging action game filled with mystery, gothic nightmares, and cosmic horrors. It's the first From Software game I've ever played, and I've really come to enjoy it over the years. The game has an undeniable charm to it that has allowed its legacy to endure for these 10 years, with pretty much zero continuation of the series in any meaningful way. Kinda. You see, even though Bloodborne never got a proper remaster, remake, or sequel, there have been additions to the Bloodborne franchise outside the realm of video games, and for this game's big milestone, I thought I would share some of these additional Bloodborne properties to hopefully show you guys some entirely different ways to engage with this world. So yeah, I said there weren't any new Bloodborne video games, but that doesn't mean there aren't any other games at all. There are actually two of them, the first being an official Bloodborne card game. It's kind of based around the Chalice Dungeons feature in the Bloodborne game, which are unique areas to explore randomly generated each time you enter. The card game follows 3 to 5 players as they fight each round to survive, encountering new enemies from the game, leveling up using blood echoes that's also from the game, and unlocking new perks and items to continue surviving until eventually one player remains, taking usually around 30 to 60 minutes in total. To be honest with all of you, I've never played this game myself, but from what I've heard online, apparently it's pretty fun and punishing like the game. So if you got any friends that are Bloodborne fans, I'd suggest checking this out, and you could play through it at least once. It's a new way to play Bloodborne. The other non-video game Bloodborne game is entirely separate, titled Bloodborne the Board Game. It does share some similarities with the card game, but there's some differences too. For one, it's a bit more costly than the card game. Not only does it actually cost a lot more to buy, the game following 1 to 4 players will take supposedly at least 60 minutes to finish. Again, never played it myself, but it does involve highly detailed figures, modular game titles to create unique boards each game, kind of like those Chalice Dungeons I talked about, and has a high risk, high reward combat system that's also like the game. So again, it seems like something that would be pretty fun to play with friends, and if you've got some people that you know who are dedicated Bloodborne fans and you have the ability to play this game, why not give it a try? It's the perfect way to celebrate the anniversary of this game that Sony will just never do anything with. While both the card and board games give Bloodborne fans something new to play, it doesn't really add so much in terms of the story. The story in Bloodborne has always been kind of obscured to the average player, hidden mostly through the world's design, hidden conversations, and item descriptions. But what if I told you there was a way to get a whole bunch of Bloodborne story exclusively? Well, that's where the comic books come in. From 2018 to 2024, and most likely continuing into the future, there have been 6 4-issue Bloodborne stories released, with art from Piotr Kowalski and Brad Simpson, and the stories written by Alescott and Cullen Bunn. I don't know if I'm pronouncing their names right, but without giving anything away, I think they do a pretty good job capturing the atmosphere and tone of the game while being an entirely different medium. You have some stories that are very reminiscent of the game, like The Death of Sleep, which follows an unnamed hunter, very similar to the title screen character. Meanwhile, A Song of Crows follows Eileen the Crow, a side character from the game, and The Lady of the Lanterns takes a completely different approach by following a family dealing with the Night of the Hunt featured in the game, with, you never even getting to see those kinds of people when you're playing the game. I don't know if you could say it's the most groundbreaking stuff ever, but I like the art, the tone is just right, and it helps flesh out the world and story in a more direct approach than the game opts for. Much like the game itself, I'm intentionally obscuring things because I want fans of Bloodborne to watch this video and hopefully have something new to look forward to, like the board games and the comics. But if you have experienced those things and played the games, let me know in the comments what your thoughts about Bloodborne are for this 10th anniversary, and I'll see y'all next time. Take care.